wanted to do a quick TBR for the month of October. I mean, quick. It might not be that quick because it's going to be a lot of books. So basically the other day, I don't know. I'm really behind on YouTube videos. Let's just start off with that. But when I'm on my lunch break, sometimes I'll like kind of look at my sub feed and like see like what things are out. I don't usually watch them because I like to, it's complicated, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that I see a lot of Victober TBRs, or I have seen a lot of Victober TBRs, a lot of people putting out Victober TBRs for the month of October. And I get it, October, Victorian, like they sound good together. But October is Black History Month in the UK, and so it annoys me because, you know, we should be, I think, celebrating and promoting Black literature. I mean, obviously, this is something that we should be doing a year round, but for some reason, I just find it like aggravating because everyone is like so focused on the Victorian books in October, and those are, you know, mostly all white, you know? I don't know. You tell me if there's Victorian authors that are Black. I don't know anything about the Victorian era, blah, 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 whatever. So I am using this as an opportunity. I mentioned this in my goals, like, update, I think, but I need to work on it's the Free Black Women's Library Challenge. Oh baby, don't do that. So I'm gonna link down below the Instagram account, the Storygraph Challenge. If I can find anything else to link, I will link it. But it is, you know, basically a challenge to read books by Black women. So I have done super poorly. So far I have read, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 challenges, which is trash because there's 35. I think some of them are like bonus challenges, but you know, bonus just means like do it in my opinion. So there's 35 challenges. So that means that I've got, I don't have a book for every single challenge because some of them are books that I wouldn't like read typically. So anyways, I'm going to go through, I'm going to edit in the pictures of the book covers because I'm real lazy and I don't want to pull them and then also like maybe have to reshelve them, etc. I'm just not in the mood. So I will say, first of all, the 4 that I have completed already is, and I don't think that these are in any order, but on my list that I have written down, it's number 18, which is a name in the title. And for that, I read Thomas and Beulah by Rita Dove, which is a poetry collection. For challenge 19, which is to read a one-word title, I read Passing by Nella Larson. 22 is a memoir. I read Somebody's Daughter. Don't remember the author name, unfortunately, but it will be on the cover that I am going to edit in right here. And then I just read Lakewood, which I am counting for number 26, gorgeous cover. It's also actually like, once you read the book, it's actually quite depressing. Actually, that one I have right here because I just finished it. It is, once you read the book and like know what's going on, the cover is actually quite sad and upsetting, but I do think that it is, like, visually, I think it's really stunning. So I'm using that for that. Number 1, vintage Black feminist text, so pre-2000. Oh my gosh, I wrote this in pencil and it's kind of hard to read. What did I pick? Oh no, I've made some terrible decisions in my life. Hold on one sec. All right, I can't read what I've written. It looks like it's 2 words and the second word, Outlaw Culture. Yes! Oh, I'm so happy I made it. Outlaw Culture by Ding Dongs. Okay, I've decided to pull up my computer since I'm not holding the books. I don't have the authors. And I knew that Outlaw Culture was by Bell Hooks. I just was like not confident enough to say it. But yeah, Outlaw Culture by Bell Hooks will be my vintage Black feminist text. It's not like super vintage because I think it wasn't written that long ago. But anyways, I'm going to be reading that. For book number 2, contemporary Black feminist text, I'll be reading How We Get Free, or the book that I've picked is How We Get Free. Obviously, if I accidentally read something else instead, that's fine. But this is one that I'd like to read. And this is by Kianga Yamata Taylor. And it's the Combahee River Collective, which is a group of radical Black feminists. So I'm really, really excited to read that. I think this is one of the books that I got in that subscription box that I was subscribed to like many moons ago that focused on Black books, but that stopped existing, at least I think because they stopped charging me and stopped sending me books. So I'm gonna assume they don't exist anymore. But that was one of my favorite book boxes, so I'm very disappointed. So number 3 is LGBTQ author fiction. And so for that, I've picked Butter Honey Pig Bread. Is that what it is? I think so. Butter Honey Pig Bread. It's Canadian. I feel like everyone has been talking about it recently. Maybe not like super recently. I really want to read it. I don't know why it fits into this. I don't know if the author is, you know, part of the LGBTQ plus community or if like themes in the book are, but somehow it ended up on my list here. So I think that I Googled that, or maybe, I will say the Storygraph, like the challenge page, you know, when people add books to it, you can see what books they've added. So I think that might have been what I did. You know what I'm saying? I think I went to the challenge and saw what books I own that fit into the different groups to kind of figure out what to read. Anyways, number 4 is LGBTQ author nonfiction. I keep stumbling on my words and it's super irritating. Okay. Anyways, LGBTQ author nonfiction. I've picked Zammy by Audre Lorde. Number 5 is book by a community activist. And so for that, I've picked When They Call You a Terrorist. And the author of that book is Patrice Kahn Colors. And then it's also with and Asha Bandela. And there's a foreword by Angela Davis. Oh, I love that. Okay, the next book, or the next challenge, is book on personal development. And for that, I do not have a book because I don't really read books on personal development. I don't really know what to pick for that, so that's fine. Number 7 is romance erotica. And so for that, I've picked Love in Color, which I think was given to me by my friend Marty. And I think it's a short story collection, but I'm not 100%. Then book that centers relationships between women. And for that, I've picked Breathe Eyes Memory? Breath Eyes Memory. I don't know why. That's like one of those words that's really hard for me, like loose and lose and loss. Like those, I get very confused. The English language is stupid sometimes. But anyways, I will be reading that book for that. On YA or middle grade, I'm going to be reading Piecing Me Together. And this is, I know it's Watson is the last name of the author. I forget what her first name is, though. I apologize. Then an award winner or classic. I've picked The Women of Brewster Place by Gloria Naylor. And then debut, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, of course. And then number 12 of the prompt is to read a book by Gloria Naylor. So I've just picked a different one, Mama Day, which I started like so long ago and then put down. I have like vividly, I know exactly like what has happened in the book so far. I don't know why I put it down, probably because I got distracted by other book challenges and goals and lists. Then I have a book that's been adapted to a TV or film. And so for that, I'll be reading The Color Purple. Caribbean author, Crick Crack by Edwidge Danticat. And also I forgot to mention that Breath, Eyes, Memory is also by Edwidge Danticat. So I'm excited because I own multiple of her books and haven't read them. Oof. Urgh. Okay, then book by an African author, and I'll be reading Stay With Me, which you can see right over here popping out behind my cats. And this is, I didn't look up how to pronounce this author's name. I apologize, but that is the book that I'll be picking for that one. Then, oh my gosh. Excuse me. All right. Then for 16, it's an SFF book, so science fiction or fantasy. And so I'll be finally reading Binti. I want to read Binti so bad. I almost put Lakewood for this book because it has science fiction elements. But I really, really want to read Binti. So I want to read that one instead. And then for number 17, on spirituality or faith, this is one that I don't personally own a book for, because again, and that's not to say that there isn't spirituality, excuse me, possibly spirituality or faith in any of the books by Black women that I own. I just like, based on like searching and stuff, I couldn't find anything that was super obvious. So I am going to purchase The Secret Lives of Church Ladies for this one, because I really wanted to read it. The cover is absolutely stunning, and I feel like a lot of people have talked about it and have enjoyed it. Then we get to some challenges that I did complete. And then number 21 is on travel, migration, or place. And so for that, I'm going to be reading, is that Parable of the Sower? I don't really know why that fits into that category, to be honest with you, but I have written it down, so I assume that it does. And if not, you know, that's fine. The goal is to read more books by Black women, so who cares? And then number 20, these are not in the correct order. I had some issues with my list and like writing it down, and the prompts were not matching some things. So 20 is a graphic novel, and I do have the graphic adaptation of Kindred, so I'll be reading that. Then Character Speaks, which I guess in retrospect, I don't know like who adapted it, if that is also a Black woman that adapted it, so I don't know if that should be part of it. I might pick up Aya Volume 2 if that's the case, because you know, if it's like been adapted into a graphic form by like a white man, then I might pick something different, just like to be as, you know, specific with my prompts as possible, or as, you know, accurate. And then number 23, Character Speaks Patois, Creole, Geechee, or AAVE. And so I picked Their Eyes Were Watching God, according to the internet. This is accurate. I haven't read the book, so I don't know. That's kind of a hard challenge to like pick a book for in advance, because, you know, until you read the book, you don't know what that's like, but that's okay. On Health and Healing is the next prompt, and this is another book that I do not have anything for. And if you have recommendations for the books that I don't have, or for the challenges that I don't have books for, that would be really cool, if you could recommend some. But again, I'm not personally drawn to these types of books, so I might just skip them in general. And then 24 is a collection of poetry, short stories, or essays, and so I have like a Zora Neale Hurston collection. It's just like the complete stories of Zora Neale Hurston, I think is what it's called, but you'll see it right here, so that's cool. And then let's see, on gender or sexuality, I've picked By the Light of My Father's Smile. I don't know why exactly this like fits the category. That's the only problem with these types of TBRs, is sometimes you like can't add a book until after you've read it, but that's okay. A book on disability, and I've picked Freshwater because I think that there's like a mental health stuff happening in that book. I think, don't quote me. And then the next one is about witches, magic, or folklore. And this one I also don't own the book, but I would like to read Akata Warrior. I read Akata Witch a couple years ago, I think, and I loved it. So I'd like to keep reading that series. And then the next one is history, historical fiction, or a slave narrative. And so I've picked She Would Be King, which is somewhere. Oh, I might have started it. Oops. I think I started already, but if it's the book that I'm thinking of, then nope, it's not the book I was thinking of, but since I said it, it's the book that I'm going to read anyways. I don't know. It's a dramatic story of Liberia's early years through 3 unforgettable characters who share an uncommon bond. So yeah, I don't really know what this book is about, and I apologize, but I will try to read it next month. And then I don't have one about death, grief, or the afterlife. Did I already say that? Did that happen twice? I don't know. I almost put Lakewood in that book, because a huge plot of the book too is that her grandma has recently died, so she is grieving, but it's not about like that specifically, so I did not. The next one is about a rebel, rule breaker, or troublemaker, and so I picked my sister, the serial killer, because I feel like she is definitely a rule breaker because she kills people, so you know. And then the next prompt is to reread a favorite. I have not picked a book for this. I need to go look at my read shelves to see what I would like to read for that. That's going to probably be, again, at the bottom of my list of priorities, just because I have so many unread books behind me. And then the next challenge is with characters I'd like to hang out with, which again, kind of hard until you read the book to know if you want to hang out with them. I've picked Homemade Love. I don't know why. Based on reading the description of the book, it seemed like I would want to hang out with these characters. And then the last one is More Than One Point of View. And for that, I've picked Swing Time by Zadie Smith. Wow, that was kind of embarrassing. So that is the next book for the, I listened to the Black Chick Lit podcast, and I like to read the book first. And so that is the next book for the next one. So I've been adding that book to my TBR, honestly, since like the beginning of the year, and I haven't gotten around to it because it is kind of big. But we need to try, that's all that matters. And again, this is not to say that one cannot participate in Victober or that I am judging you for participating in Victober. I just feel like it would be nice if we also focused on the fact that it is Black History Month in the UK in the month of October. And yeah, that's it, I guess. So let me know if you've read any of these books. I know I just mentioned a lot of books. I am clearly not going to read all of them in the month of October because I, first of all, have been in a slump, and second of all, it's just unrealistic in general. I do not read, that many books in a month. Other people might, and I'm very happy for them, but I don't typically. But this is just what I would like to focus on again for the rest of the year, but specifically next month. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.